Hey YouTube, what's going on? And welcome back to Cairo and his things. Today, we're going to be looking at the Imalent LD70. Let's get started with the basics on this light. For size, we're looking at 81 millimeters front to back. We're looking at 25 millimeters on the diameter. And we're looking at 87 grams in weight. For the emitter, we have an XHP 70.2 emitter with an orange peel reflector, which allows that beam to be a bit more spread out and floody. Now, I love just about any Cree XHP emitter. I'm a big fan of them. So whether it's the 50s or the 70s, the 0.2s, the 0.3s, I think they're all wonderful. And I really love when they put a Cree XHP in my lights. Now, for that battery, this is running on an 18350 battery. So it's a small battery, as this is a relatively small light. Now, please note, though, that that is proprietary. Now, some of the other lights that I've had that come with proprietary batteries, you can still find a way to get into them. But for this, that seems to really be in there. I don't think that there's any way to get in and access and replace that battery. With that said, we don't have USB-C recharging either. We've got magnetic charging, and it comes with its own proprietary charger. And also, even though this light is intended for EDC, as you can tell, and it's small, it does not come with a clip. Instead, it comes with a lanyard. I am a lanyard user. I put lanyards on a lot of my lights, so that does not bother me whatsoever. Most of the time, I actually prefer to use a lanyard over a clip. I will say, though, even though this clip is, or even though this lanyard is adjustable, I've got pretty skinny hands, and it's still a little bit tight. So just keep that in mind. If you do have bigger hands, you might have to use a different lanyard than what comes with it. Now, one of the major features about this light is the indicator that we have right here. So when we turn this light on, you'll see that it actually reads to us our Lumen output at the moment. And if we just leave that sit there for a second, it's actually going to show us our battery life remaining as well. There we go, 3.95 volts remaining and 200 lumens. So it's going to flash back and forth between what lumen output you're on and how much battery life you have left. So that's pretty neat. And that is definitely a main selling feature of this light. It claims 4,000 lumens on turbo. Now that is a lot of lumens out of a light this small. I will say, though, that from what I've seen online, it looks like most people are measuring in the 3,600 to 3,700 range. Not much of a difference there, though. I think that's still close enough to 4,000 for me to call this a pocket rocket. Now, additionally, other modes that it has, it's got a 2000 lumen mode, 900 lumen, 200 lumen, and then its lowest setting is actually 20 lumens. So there is no moonlight or firefly mode. This is just a 20 lumen low mode. As far as the user interface, it's extremely basic, which I'm really happy to see, because anytime you have just the general EDC light, I think it should be a good, simple user interface. So you click it to turn it on. As you can see, 200 is what we left it in last time, so it's got memory mode. And so when we click that, when we hold it down, you'll see, and I know it kind of flashes on the camera, I see that's happening, but that does not happen in person, okay? That's only how it comes through on camera. But as we hold it down, that's how you brighten or change your output mode. So it goes all the way from low, medium to second medium and high, or however you want to call that, 20, 200, 900, 2000, and back to 20. So it reads it to you, and that's how you cycle through. And then if you double click, you get the turbo, 4000 lumens. And I immediately feel that heat coming out of there, so I'm going to turn that down. And there we go. So now we turn it off. If I turn it back on, it should go into 20 through its memory mode, which it did. Awesome. So now that we see how simple that user interface is and we know the output claims, let's go ahead and test out some beam shots. Now that we've had a chance to look at the beam shots on this light, let's take a look at some other things I want to note. First, it's going to be the E switch on this. Now, I'm definitely a fan of any time that a light is going to use an E switch that either is metal or feels metal or whatever. But with this one right here, it seems like they had the right idea with it because it's nice and flat and it feels good on the finger as far as just the touch. But the actual mechanism for clicking in this button is terrible. I mean, I'm talking worst button I've ever had on a flashlight of any serious flashlight. So the issue is that this does not fit in here correctly. So many times so far, and I've only had this for less than a week now, when I click this button in, it gets stuck and it sits there. So what will end up happening is I'll either have to click it again to get it back off and then turn it back on, or it will sit like that for a second and the light won't turn on, but then it'll kind of readjust itself or whatever. It'll get unstuck and then the light will turn on. Or it gets partially stuck, and I have accidentally gone into turbo so many times because it thinks that it's double clicking when it's not. It's just getting stuck. I absolutely hate the mechanism on this button because it's faulty in my opinion. All that grinding and popping, it is absolutely awful. It is that mechanism that's used, whatever's underneath this button is just so bad. Like, it is not responsive. It's not clicking correctly. It's not sized properly. This needs fixed for sure. I think that we've got a really neat light on our hands here, but for this to be a serious light, something that people can use on a regular basis, this button needs to be usable on a daily basis. And I would not want to use that button constantly just because it's getting stuck and it's so gristly in there. Now, on to a more positive note, I absolutely love the way this light looks. I think it's just overall a really good looking light. Like, this is something that you can pull out of your pocket and people are going to be like, wow, that's a cool looking flashlight. It's got a futuristic look to it. It feels good in hand. I like it a lot. I think it's very aesthetically pleasing. Now, again, as far as when we really just look at everything about this light, when it comes to the button, proprietary battery and magnetic charging, I would, and then, the fact that it doesn't come with a clip, and a lot of people like a clip. When you consider all those factors, I would say that I probably would not recommend this light to somebody as your standalone EDC light. So if you're not really someone that has a lot of flashlights and you're just looking for one good EDC light and that's it, this one may not be the right one for you just based on a few things there. Now, of course, if you're that interested in it, just buy it. But as far as my recommendations, I think this is more for someone who has lights already. You're not just looking for one standalone EDC light, but you're looking for a pocket rocket. You're looking for a little hot rod in your pocket that you can pull out that's really small but has big output. And so being able to put out 3600, 3700 lumens out of something this small is really neat to have. So I enjoy having this in my collection now. And I think it looks great as well. I ended up choosing the blue, but they have really good color options on this as well. But so if you're just looking for a little pocket rocket, maybe something that you can quickly light little fires with, probably if you wanted to, this is definitely a good choice for you. But as far as a standalone EDC, I don't think I can recommend this light for that purpose. So if you are looking for a little pocket rocket hot rod, here's the prices. We've got $59 on Amazon US right now. However, it's currently 25% off that. So if you buy it on Amazon right now, that's going to be $15 off. So that will bring the price down to $45. Additionally, you can purchase this on Imalent's website for $59 or $60. And you can also get this in the UK as well. So I'm going to include links to Amazon and also to the Imalent US store and the Imalent UK store, all in the description. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.